everything comes down to knowing yourself.
Everything
comes down. If you notice there's a pattern here, it comes down to knowing. Once you do that, there's a lot of things you really don't feel like you need to do.
Absolutely.
You're not proving nothing to no one.
That's it. And it's crazy. I think going back to what you said the first time about actually being creative helps with all of that. Do you know what I'm saying? I think people don't understand how important that is, because by being creative, you're looking inside of you. You're not looking to the external world. And I think that's the major key when it comes to actually being, like healthy mentally, because a lot nowadays, like you just brought up social media, it's like there's so much focus on the physical, right? I think what has happened is people have basically detached from the internal strength that they have, because they've been so reliant and so dependent on the outside world that it's like if they're going through something, they're not able to use that internal strength to actually deal with it. They're thinking it has to be something on the outside to help me. It has to be the shoes. It has to be some likes on Instagram. It has to be, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that's a definite major key, man. Like being creative,
looking within is alien to a lot of people because of all the distractions,
right?
And that's something that might be easier for you to grasp because you didn't have those distractions. Like we're talking about. Bringing it back to the beginning, so it's almost like because you've been conditioned so much, the fact that you can actually switch everything off and talk to yourself or talk to your creator and get all the answers you're looking for. It's like it can't be that easy. It's like people are like,
no one wants that, and they don't think it's easy.
No, I have to go study this. It's literally just that. Like you switch off and you know what I'm saying connect.
100%.
People don't get that. Something as simple as just sitting in the park, being around trees. Being around nature, people don't understand. Right. Like I can be in the office all day, and I'll take, not even for the fact that I smoke, I'll just go out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll just go, I have a partner, I just go there, just come back and do a whole different, but someone can sit in the office the whole day and be cussing, I'm stressed, I'm not that, but you haven't, as little as just walk away from your computer, and, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Something as little as
you're speaking.
Yeah, you're speaking real facts,
people don't have sense.
100%.
People don't do that, man.
Yeah, 100%.
At all.
Yeah.
What you were speaking about earlier, where people are not self-aware, and these items or these things that they try to acquire to compromise for other things, that is 100% a real thing because I've actually lived that. Like when I was younger, and obviously, like I mentioned before, the issue that I had with my speech, I didn't feel like I was ever going to get certain level of respect.
Oh, you have an issue with your speech, sir?
Shut up, man. No, but I didn't feel like I was going to get the level of respect that I needed by speaking. I wasn't going to be able to connect with people the way I wanted to by speaking. So when I was younger, and it took a lot of personal development to realize this, but when I was younger, I would think, well, if I had a Gucci belt, if I had True Religion jeans, if I had a nice car, then people were going to give me that level of respect before I start speaking. I don't have to, you know. So I was living a life like that. But when you're at uni or you can't get a job because of the way that you speak or the way you feel about yourself or your self-esteem so low and you can't progress in life, how long can you keep up with the Gucci belts? How long can you keep up with the True Religion jeans at the time or whatever the new thing is? How long can you keep up with that? And eventually you will crash.
You burn out.
You will crash. And I believe it's only at that point when you reach that low that you can accept that you need to look into the type of stuff that you were talking about.
That's so real.
It's almost you can see the people that have reached that. You can see the people that reached that.
That is so real, bro.
Wow, man. I remember when I took everything, the Gucci belt, the Louis belt, the pouch, the True. I threw that thing on eBay. Quick, quick. I said, nah, what? This? I don't need this in my life. No way. Get out of here. Do you know what I'm saying? And that kind of, that gave me that freedom because I felt like, and you know what's crazy as well? When you're actually wearing those brands, when you go places, you can't have the same brand 2 times.
That's
bro.
it.
You can't have the same pair of jeans 5 times.
So you're not even wearing clothes
and
for yourself anymore. I remember Giggs said something like that. He wore and he was like, you know what? Why am I even like thinking and caring about what people feel? It's a nice jumper. I'm wearing a jumper again. Like, did you wear it again, bro?
Do you know what I mean? And we're gonna even touch on fashion. Remember the pictures that I shared with you guys in the group? People don't even know where these people are getting the thing from, but that's another topic. But yeah, man, CJ, I think you kept it 100%.
That was so real.
That was so real. I felt that in my soul because real talk. Like the same thing with me, man. I had to, and it's that freedom. Like, you know, for me, I'm not someone to talk about religion to people because I don't really care what religion you are. Do you know what I mean? For me, my thing is, you know, they do speak facts though, in a sense where it's like don't stop focusing on the materialistic things, bro. Like, how can you let a pair of jeans control your life?
That's another good.
Literally.
Real talk.
You're worshipping something else.
That becomes an idol.
It becomes, and you don't even know it.
Keeping up with this particular pair of this or pair of that.
And then the power of the subconscious, because that's what you're training your subconscious.
That's it, man.
Do you know what I mean? Every time you're telling yourself, I can't keep wearing the same trainers.
And you project it out now.
Bro.
You start to project it out. So when people see you, they'll be looking at you funny because you're having this internal battle. Do you know what I mean? It's like, hold on a second, this guy's energy is a bit mad, you know, like, or whatever it may be. You're projecting it out, like, you know, like, you got, man, my jeans, you know, I don't know if they're gonna like it, you know. Imagine living like that,
bro. It's mad.
But what you said was so real, and you too, Kofi, like, because I've had that type of journey, just like both of you, where you really come to the realization of what really is important and really not giving a damn what anybody else thinks. Do you know what I mean? And there's so much freedom when you get there that it's like, hold on a second, why did I ever even
why was this?
What type of rubbish was I even on? Like,
exactly.
What's this?
Exactly,
like?
for real, man.
Do you know?
Real.
So wow, man.
When you genuinely do not care what other people think, the level of freedom that you reach
is liberating, man.
Is mad. It's like a level of freedom that you never thought you would ever get.
It is like a superpower because now it's like you can't be touched. Do you understand? No matter what you say to me, won't phase me. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I know who I am. Like, do you know what I mean? And
let's talk about how we got there. Let's talk about how we individually got there.
Right,
because I got there through kind of I guess what I was chasing after, through basketball, through all of these different things that I had. And I had to go through basically being in solitude a lot of the time. And there was things, I was by myself. So there was things that I would have to ask myself. There was no external thing that could, that did it for me. So there's questions that I would start to ask myself. And, you know, I started to actually observe the thoughts that I would have, and I'll be like, hold on a second, these can't be my thoughts. Like where are these thoughts coming from? Do you understand what I'm saying? Whether it's like speaking negatively about yourself or feeling a certain way. I took the step forward in going through that by just allowing myself to really, really understand who I was and not understand who I was from anybody else's point of view. Do you know what I'm saying? I literally detach myself from every single person's opinions, my parents, my friends, my brothers, every single body. And I said, I'm going to look in the mirror and just find out who I am. And exactly, you know, like the moment I realized that, you know what, like, I don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't care. I literally, like you said, it was liberating for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I got there through being by myself a lot of the time. Having time to really just, you know, really observe me and really observe my mind. That's what did it for me. You know?
100%.
No, go.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, you know, once again, the woman I was speaking to at work, and then, you know, she was just talking about how, like, it's crazy because, you know, back in like Africa, in like the Philippines where she's from, you know, these people live on the bare minimum, yet they're still happy. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, what is the difference? Clearly the difference has to be the mindset. The difference has to be your perception of life. Do you know what I'm saying? Gratitude. And it's like, you know, and I said, my response was, she actually said something that I thought was funny. She was like, some people might not be able to eat, right? Or they might only be able to eat once a day. But what they don't understand is you can be grateful for that, because actually not eating can save your life.
I'll tell you something funny. Not meaning to cut you off.
No.
You know, earlier on we was laughing about like what I was losing and stuff like that today. And when I was on my way here, I was thinking to myself, I'm laughing about losing money. Like, imagine that. Like, I'm grateful that I can laugh about losing money.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? That it's not something that affects me.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm past, like that I can.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
100%.
And I was thinking, wow, like when I didn't have money,
yeah,
I would like that would never cross my mind.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Exactly.
So, but that being in a gratitude state, bro, I'm telling you, it's different, man.
It is different. Gratitude, like, you know, Kofi brought up, man, is one of the major things, man, that helps me from where we were. You know, like we used to be in an apartment where it's like it was a 1-bedroom. You know, we would just stay in the bedroom, and that's all we had. You know, we didn't have anything. I'm talking about we literally had a mattress, and that was it. Do you know what I'm saying? We didn't have a washing machine. We didn't have an oven. Do you know what I'm saying? But we were grateful. You know, we would go to Iceland. Like I said, we would do online surveys for like 50p to add up to the little 20p that we had in our credit card. And we'll go to Iceland and buy like a £1 pizza or whatever. And that was the best tasting pizza. And it took me back to when we were younger with Balen Park. We would go to the park, and we used to get Iron Brew 19p. Do you remember 19p cans? And that was all we had the whole day. But as kids,
we had the most fun.
Man, that Iron Brew tasted better than Coke, tasted better than anything. Do you know what I'm saying? And that was that gratitude, and that kept us going. Do you know what I'm saying? And for me, when we didn't have anything, for me, the one thing that kept me going was at least we have a roof over our head.
Bro.
You know,
there's always something to be grateful.
Always. Like I was
something.
talking to Michael the other day, right? And he was saying, and it was cold because I was outside, and he was like, like he's thinking to himself, these people that are homeless.
Bro, that's all I think when it gets cold, especially the snowing time.
And you know they don't look like homeless people back in the day.
No.
Yeah. They don't look like that at all now. Yeah. If you look at the lines that are queuing up for like, you know, homeless shelter or something, they look like your regular Joes. They look like your regular Joes. You be like, hold on a second.
I'm telling you, like the food bank near my workplace, the people you see going in there.
Regular folk. Regular mum and dad and their child there. You've passed them, you've walked past them. You're thinking they just gotten home. They're going, bro, it's crazy.
Because everyone's feeling it.
Bro, feeling it.
You know, so that's the thing for me. It was like, and each time, you know, one of my affirmations is we're doing better than we were before. Do you know what I'm saying? It was little things like that. It was like, listen, if we're doing better than yesterday, we're moving forward. Do you get? I'm not looking at the end, the finish line. I'm looking at the fact, like, Rosh, yesterday we didn't have this, you know, so it got to a point where we bought our bed. Do you know what I mean? And it was like,
every victory.
It's a victory. Do you understand? And but a lot of people tend to just focus on, look at my life, look at my life. And it's like, bro, you're not going to get anywhere if that's what you're telling yourself, right? So you have to change your mindset. And that was what the lady was getting at, where she was like, listen, it has to be the perception. It has to be how you see things, right? You can always be grateful for something. Do you know what I mean? And you know, and that's just what it comes down to, man. I think a lot of people, it's crazy because you see people, they driving this car, they got this TV, got this phone, got that, got this, and they're still miserable,
man.
It's a real thing out here. Do you know what I mean? And I think gratitude is the biggest thing. And another thing about gratitude as well, right? It makes you realize the tools you have at your disposal. Do you get what I'm saying? Because if you're not grateful for what you have, you can't see that you can use what you have to move forward. Do you get what I'm saying? So you could be stuck. I think I've seen like a little meme, a picture where it was like someone was stuck and there was sticks or whatever right next to him, and he was just crying that it was stuck in the ditch, right? And then the other guy, he's taking the sticks and he's built ladders. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he realized that he's got ladders. Do you understand? And that is the difference between gratitude and, you know, being ungrateful. You know, so I think, man, gratitude goes a long way, man. It goes a long way.
And you mentioned one thing that was powerful there is your perception, man. Like, you know, you can see yourself or even I read something about Jim Carrey and he would just go around pretending he was who he wanted to be.
Yeah.
So like, you know, he wanted to be this big actor, whatever like that. When he was dirt poor, didn't have nothing, he would pretend he was that. He said he just made him feel good.
Right.
So he did it.
Right.
Like people don't understand what he's saying. He changed the state of his mind.
Right.
Even though his external didn't
same.
represent that yet, he changed the internals.
Attractive.
And once he did, then the externals could change.
Yes.
You understand? That's why when you're saying people have got all these different phones and everything, the internals is still messed up.
Yeah.
They don't they haven't taken that time to really like, you know, heal themselves and get themselves to that stage where they've shifted their mindset and they've shifted their perception. But you could be quote unquote in a poor environment but be rich mentally.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying? Like everything will change for you. Like literally that, you know.
And you know what's crazy about what you just said, because you talked about how it made him feel.
It made him feel good.
Feeling
is the key.
It's the key,
It's
bro.
the key.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like every time you feel a negative emotion about your current state, what that does is it puts a massive barrier between you and your inner power. Do you know what I'm saying? It just blocks it. Each emotion.
Is a fact.
Do you know what I'm saying? Each time you feel that way, it's just continuous. It's a much bigger wall and you have to break through to then go back and reprogram yourself to feel better about what you like your current situation. So feeling is a massive thing, man. Joe Dispenza, like seriously, he touches up on that a lot.
What up, Joe?
100% agree with you. I think what I've learned is that emotions are so important because what you feel controls how you think.
Yes.
And then you're now acting upon what you feel, but what you feel, it's not actually real. No. You can manipulate that
Absolutely.
to suit you and to suit your environment and to change your behavior.
Yeah.
But if you continue to have the victim mentality, then you're going
to be a victim. That's it. You know, and you know what's crazy about it? It's crazy about that is because for me, the way I kind of, because with everything, right, I kind of have something that makes me remember that philosophy. So with that, it's like the way I see it is, you know, I always tell people whenever something happens to you, be it whenever something negative happens to you, you've got two options. You can either cry about it, be negative about it, or you can be positive about it and say, do you know what? This happened because of this reason. And what that does is because, mate, if you are going to be negative about what just occurred, what that does is you're going to feel more horrible.
Facts.
Why not just laugh about it or try and see the positive side of it? Because those are the two options you have. Right. One of them makes you feel good. The other makes you feel bad. So why would you choose the one that makes you feel bad? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, but sure. I think
people are conditioned.
It's just that they've been conditioned.
They're super conditioned. They're conditioned to think you have to feel this because of this. You have to get here, and then when you get there, that's what's going to give you all of these different things. They don't know that it starts from within you. What are you going to say, CJ?
I was just going to say that I think that your environment and the people you surround yourself by also heavily influence your ability.
A million percent. About that. A million percent.
Yeah, because if you're naturally quite a negative person and you're surrounded by more negative people. It just compounds, right? But like I remember when I've been at some of my lowest moments, I've rang Charlton, and it's almost like you're not allowed to be in that mindset. So I would get off the phone.
Why are you doing that?
I would get off the phone and I'd be like, what was I doing? Like, he's not allowing me to be in this mindset, and it would get me through the shift, or it would like get me through the next hard time, or it will make me want to challenge myself, like whatever the task may be at hand. It will make me want to like just bulldoze through it. But if you're not surrounded by or you don't know someone like that, and you're just a victim, or you've got a victim mentality constantly, you're never going to get the mentality or the mindset to believe that I can actually get through this. So You know,
100%, and that goes back to the video clip that you showed me, where the guy was saying about the lion. The lion isn't the biggest animal in the jungle, right? It's not the fastest. It's not the smartest. It's not the smartest, right? But it's the mentality that makes the lion the king of the jungle. You know, so.